Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Makakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother, WW3 from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, and Lord willing, it can be edifying. And this is going to be our Watchman report, all right, war news report, Watchman report. All right, it's on and popping, man. More things coming out, more advancements being made. You have countries declaring war, or groups declaring war on Israel. All right, we see things falling into place. All right, hey, we're definitely in the beginning of World War III. I actually have something on that as well. So this is all through the spirit, but I got a couple articles and a video pulled up, and we're gonna go into that. All right, but this is all concerning this war that's going on. And the spirit, one of the last videos I did was, this incursion. They began this incursion in Gaza, and all these different nations were rebuking them, and they started to do it anyway. And through the spirit, we know, according to the scriptures, that, which, let's go ahead and start with that. We know the least of the flock, right, which, according to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, have identified it as that state of Israel over there, are going to be the ones that draw these different nations into World War III, all right? Because there is three world wars that were prophesied in the scriptures, all right? The first two, they came and went, and these were prophesied thousands of years, before they came to pass. So we know the third one is going to come in. And in fact, we're in, best believe, we're in the midst of it, all right? But we know the end result here will not be a winner by either side, but a win from Yahweh Shah and the elect in the nation of Israel, all right, the true Israelites, all right, as they inherit the earth, man, in the universe. But nonetheless, let's start here, Jeremiah chapter 49, and we'll go right to the point. Let's see. Right, verse 20, it says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom." And Edom is the so-called white race, right? Esau and his descendants, and his purposes that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And the least of the flock, all right, the least of these damn Edomites, which are actually the head tribe of Amalek, all right, they would be presumably the weakest without the help of the Americans and whatnot. But they used the Americans and these other NATO nations to help establish them in a land that didn't belong to them. All right. And proving that this land didn't belong to them, real quick, we'll go to Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. Because even the Lord speaks about this place. And when you begin to bring out these scriptures and you try to cross-reference and match up prophecy with these devils in that land, you will find out that these ain't the people, which is why they demonize anybody that says otherwise, says that they're not the people. But prophecy, if they go into the scriptures, doesn't align with them being the true people, but in fact, imposters. So this is Ezekiel chapter 36. And let's see, is it 36 or is it 35? So bear with me. Or is it 34? I think it's 36. I know it's right in my face. Hold on. Let me just look it up. Yeah, it is 36. It was right in my face. So this is Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 4. Oh, actually, I must go right to the point. Verse 5, it said, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea." Now, when you go into it, Idumea is how you say Edom in Greek. All right, it is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right, and we identify Edom as a so-called white man, right? It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with all the joy of their heart. When did that happen? In 1948, via the Balfour Declaration. Now, you can make the argument that there were people already in that land, which there were. Another group of heathens, all right, which are the Palestinians today, but these are nothing more than Ishmaelites, all right, but they don't align with being Esau Edom. Okay, those Middle Eastern or those Palestinians they're not Esau, all right, they're Ishmael, all right, now, but they're just as guilty as appointing that land. The Lord is, that's why the Lord is bringing these nations to that area to judge them, because our land extends more than just the borders of the state of Israel. Or with you got Palestine over there, you got Saudi Arabia, Hey, that it's a good portion of that land over there that belongs to us. That's the Lord's land, But this is against Esau Edom mainly, all right. Hey, because the scriptures say that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation, and Amalek is the very tribe of Esau that inherited his land, and particularly via the Balfour Declaration, right after World War II. It says, once again, verse 5 again, it said, therefore thus said the Lord of power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with spiteful minds to cast it out as for a prey. All right, so you appointed the Lord's land into your possession with the joy of all your heart. All right, hey, the scriptures say that you oppress a man in his heritage, man, even a man in his house. All right, you basically made it seem like you're us, and we're just, we're African. Y'all gave us the lie that, y'all are African. That's where we got you from. Not knowing, if you trace history, we fled, the Southern Kingdom, fled into the west coast of Africa after being pushed out by, the siege back in 70 AD. All right, the siege on Jerusalem by the Roman Empire, and they know that history. They know who we are. They know who they are. It's no secret, but the secret is getting out. It was a secret for a while, but now, you have the prophets that are standing upon their feet, all right, and these devils are trying to do everything to suppress the information. However, bringing it full circle, these devils are in that land, and it's been nothing but war and issues, man. Now, going back to what I brought out in Jeremiah, the least of the flock shall draw them out. All right, Esau, those Amalekites over there, they're about to bring these different nations into World War III, So you have right here, all right, you got Vladimir Putin. This is from Daily Express U.S. Vladimir Putin turns on Netanyahu, and he sees Israel as Russia's enemy. Okay, so they did have relations going on. They did have, they weren't, the strongest of allies, but they were allies nonetheless. But now, because they've been, they went ahead with that ground incursion. They've been killing, innocent women and children, presumably innocent women and children. They say they're going against Hamas, but, Hamas was something that the Israelis created, man, if you go into the history. Just like America talking about Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda, was created by the damn CIA. And when you bring this out, they'll try to market it as misinformation, and they'll try to censor it. But if it was a lie, then nobody would listen, right? But y'all want to censor it and take it out because it's the damn truth, man. All right, this is how Esau deals. He's the damn devil. He wants to control both sides of the opposition, man. Y'all going into the city, y'all told these people to leave, and then blew up all their exit points, man. A damn devil. So, even you got Vladimir Putin pretty much condemning them on this. It says Vladimir Putin will now see Israel as an enemy as he moves closer to Iran and sides with Hamas. And that's prophecy. All right. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. The Lord commanded them to be a guard unto these different nations, to come up against America and the land of Israel. It says, as he moves closer to Iran and sides with Hamas in the Middle East, a former speechwriter for the Russian president tells Daily Express U.S. Hamas has called Russia its closest friend as the terrorist group vows to release 8 Russian hostages kidnapped during its October 7th attack in Israel. Putin appears to be breaking from his previous line of neutrality over Israel and Palestine. And see, that's the Lord working on his heart. The lines are being drawn in the sand, right? It says this week he called on Israel to cancel his ground invasion into Gaza. It says Abbas Galiamov, a former speechwriter for Putin from 2008 to 2012 who lives in Tel Aviv, tells Daily Express US that Putin has become more reliant on Iran for weapons, and this is why he has shifted to a more pro-Palestine stance. So, that's pretty much all I'm gonna read on that. He's, beginning to see Israel as an enemy, and we know America's number one ally or Israel's number one ally is going to be America, and we already know America and Russia are already at odds. So, we see how the lines are being drawn. So we have right here from RT News, and this is all pretty much news coming out today, man. Things are very much heating up. All right, so this is from RT. It says World War III has already started. And I'm not even going to, I'll try to say it. Fyodor Lukyanov says the new global war comes as a series of intertwined conflicts rather than a single major one, the Russian foreign policy expert believes. The Third World War is already underway. I'm going to say his last name. Lukyanov, Russia's leading foreign policy expert, has said a world order that has been unpleasant but manageable is being broken down, and currently there seems to be no mechanism for the resolution of conflicts, including the ongoing escalation between Israel and Hamas, he believes. Lukyanov, who is chairman of the Presidium at the Council of Foreign and Defense Policy, think tank and editor-in-chief of Russia in Global Affair magazine, made the remarks in an interview published last week by newspapers. I'm not even gonna try to say that. Forgive me. It says of late the world has been seeing old frozen conflicts between reignited. Lukyanov said, citing the Nagorno-Karabakh hostilities, the Russian-Ukraine standoff, and the new escalation in the Middle East as examples. The ongoing array of conflicts is effectively a new world war, which appears to significantly differ from the two global conflicts of the 20th century. Lukyanov, who is also a research director of the Valdez International Discussion Club, suggested. So he's saying, this is pretty much different from the other wars, but you got global conflict going on, man. And you have allies, pretty much linking up and providing support on different fronts, all right? And that's pretty much what a global war is. So World War III has already started, which we've been saying that through the Spirit. This is just more confirmation of that, okay? So we're going to finish off here with Yemen. Yemen has become actually the first nation to pretty much properly formally declare war on Israel. And you're going to have more countries that follow, Iran, Turkey, Iran, Turkey, Syria, Lebanon. You already have these different proxy armies pretty much already fighting, but you might have these countries itself declare war.
The app is called 2 Dots.
Get this ad out the way. Check it out. We'll go back.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which has been growing increasingly violent, now involves a third country. Yehia Sari, spokesman for Yemen's armed forces, issued a public declaration of war against Israel, saying that Yemen is now on the side of Palestine. Israel keeps bombing Gaza even as the region experiences its most chaotic days ever. Many nations are speaking out against Israel's onslaught, which has now grown to include land operations. As of October 7th, the news from Yemen has reverberated around the world, despite concerns that the conflict would spread. According to a declaration released by the Yemeni military, war has been declared against Israel. In a statement read in front of cameras, Yemeni Armed Forces spokesman Yehia Sari said, "As the Yemeni Armed Forces, we are extending a helping hand to the oppressed people of Gaza in accordance with our moral, humanitarian, and religious responsibility and at the request of the Yemeni people. As long as the Zionist enemy continues its attacks on Gaza, we will continue to hit Israel with our UCAVs and missiles, Sari continued. Yemen was the first Islamic state to openly go to war against the Zionist regime in solidarity with the Palestinian resistance and people. The Israeli blockade of Gaza continues to produce breaking news. The UN ambassador for Israel ratcheted up the tension with his comments. The envoy's comments about Iran's government were scathing. The Ayatollah regime is a Nazi regime. A nighttime raid resulted in the release of the Israeli soldier held captive by Hamas. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, reported that throughout the ground operation, forces in the Gaza Strip fought with Hamas members in the tunnels, also called the Gaza Metro. It has been reported that many people were killed and injured and Israeli forces attacked the Jabalai refugee camp. It has been reported that many people were killed and injured and Israeli forces attacked the Jabalai refugee camp. The Palestinian Ministry of Health said at least 100 people were killed in the airstrike. After the attack, many of the buildings in the neighborhood were destroyed, and many people were feared to have been buried under the debris. The current estimated number of casualties is close to 150. Hamas said, "We fired rockets at Ashdod in response to civilian deaths." The Israeli Air Force released a statement today saying that for the first time since the conflict began on October 7, Arrow was activated and that the surface-to-surface missile launched from the Red Sea region into the territory of the State of Israel was successfully intercepted by the Arrow long-range defense system. Democratic Party lawmakers and other Muslim activists in the United States gave Vice President Joe Biden until midnight to take action to end the fighting in Gaza, with the warning, "No ceasefire, no vote." The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, said in a statement that throughout the ground operation, forces in the Gaza Strip fought with Hamas members inside the tunnels, also known as the Gaza Metro. A photograph depicting the moments of the battles and the ground operation was released alongside the statement, which claimed that Hamas fighters had employed anti-tank rockets and machine guns. Axios has been told by two Israeli sources that since Friday, when the ground offensive began, more than 20,000 Israeli troops have invaded the Gaza Strip. The health ministry in Gaza reported that 8,525 Palestinians had lost their lives as a result of Israeli bombardment. Attacks on U.S. personnel in Syria and Iraq have been on the rise since the Israeli-Palestinian crisis began on October 7.
Salafi.
Drone strikes hit the U.S.-occupied Ain al-Assad air base in Anbar, western Iraq. Iraqi security officials claim that 2 drones were used in the attack on the base. One of the drones reportedly crashed near the base after being shot down by the air defense system. In a statement released Wednesday, UNICEF Executive Director Catherine Russell said, "The lack of clean water and safe sanitation is on the verge of becoming a catastrophe in Gaza. More civilians will become ill or die from dehydration or waterborne infections if access to clean water is not restored immediately." UNRWA, which provides aid and shelter to Palestinians, reported that 64 UN workers had been murdered in Israeli attacks on Gaza. Among them was a UNRWA employee named Samir, who lost his wife and 8 children in the violence. According to The Guardian, a British government official was dismissed after he or she recommended that Prime Minister Sunak call for a truce. After pressuring Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to call for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip, British government officer Paul Bristow was reportedly fired, according to the British Daily. The United Arab Emirates called for an unexpected meeting of the United Nations Security Council, which was held. UNICEF Executive Director Catherine Russell said, "More than 420 children are killed or injured every day in Gaza." The Palestinian Red Crescent issued a statement saying that there are ongoing artillery and airstrikes on the Tal Awa area in Gaza where Al-Quds Hospital is located. A panicked crowd of evacuees and medical staff watches as the building shakes. On Sunday, the group claimed that they were under threat from the Israeli government to close the hospital. Officials noted that 14,000 individuals, including paramedics, called the hospital home. A huge number of Hamas terrorists were neutralized in ground operations in the Gaza Strip, and hundreds of Hamas military targets were destroyed, according to a statement released by the Israeli Air Force. Hamas's anti-tank and rocket launching locations, tunnel shafts, and military installations were among the almost 300 targets destroyed in the last 24 hours by Shin Bet and Iman-led units of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. Palestinian local sources have said that the Israeli army's attacks on the blockaded Gaza Strip last night and throughout the night resulted in the deaths of at least 69 civilians. Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel pressed European Union leaders to put pressure on Egypt to accept refugees from Gaza. The Financial Times, a British newspaper, made this assertion. The British publication cites people familiar with the discussions who say the notion was proposed in meetings with European officials last week. The same survey found that while countries like Austria and the Czech Republic were in favor of the notion, European heavy hitters like Germany and France were not. As the ground offensive progressed, Hamas claimed to be fighting with Israeli troops deep within Gaza. According to a Hamas statement, the group fired missiles against Israeli tanks located in the southern and northwest corners of the Gaza Strip. The military arm of Hamas, the Qassam Brigades, broadcast the moment an Israeli Merkava tank was destroyed on social media. Tanks have reportedly been placed on the main north-south road in an effort to divide the strip in two, and Israel has recently increased its military operations in Gaza, advancing into Gaza City from two directions. According to sources cited by Al Jazeera, Israeli soldiers reportedly attacked the home of Salah al-Arawi, the deputy head of Hamas political bureau, in the occupied West Bank. The Committee to Protect Journalists reported 31 journalist deaths in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. There have been 26 journalist deaths in Gaza and 4 in Israel since October 7th. According to Israeli reports, 171 assistance trucks have entered Gaza since the conflict began, with 39 entering on Monday alone. Hamas hostages are freed. In the end, Natalie Ronen went back to her Chicago apartment. Israel's consul general in Chicago confirmed that Natalie Ronen, the American woman freed by Hamas alongside Judith, has returned to her Chicago apartment. Since October 7th, the Israeli army has launched 18,000 tons of bombs on the Gaza Strip, which is 1.5 times more than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima during World War II.
How many subscriptions are you?
We'll stop it right there. Damn. They just over there shooting shit up, man. And at this point, it seems like, and that's what they've been saying, it's been like overkill, man. But nonetheless, just wanted to share that information. You got a lot going on right now. All right, things are heating up. We're going to continue to watch as well as pray. This is the Watchman Report. All right, Lord willing, if, more news comes out, Lord willing, the Spirit is on me to do more lessons. All right, Lord willing, is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.